Peace and love to all the eyes and to all the ears that are watching and that are listening to this channel. I'm back again with another video. I got another message. This is You Got Mail by Rha'mel McQueen. Check it. So I was just looking on YouTube today and I was watching this incredible video about a pastor who was going off on a school board because they decided to have this book in a library that's called It's Perfectly Normal. Let me show you this book real quick. And it's this book right here that's called It's Perfectly Normal. And this book right here is talking about the sexual orientations and agendas and all kind of sexual diversity and uh sexual immoral things. And this book right here is presented to 10-year-olds. Amazing. So before I even crack open this book, even if I decide to not crack open this book or this video to show you this book and what's in it, I want to show you this right here. I'm going to share the screen with you and just check this out, yo.
A controversial children's book teaching graphic sex acts, complete with illustrations, making the rounds in school libraries and classrooms across the country, leaving parents and communities outraged. One concerned pastor tried to read the book at a school board meeting, but officials asked him to stop. Here's what he had to say about that.
If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? See, we have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs and celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion, but you don't want me to read it so you can hear it.
Reverend John Emenchukwu spoke at that school board meeting, and he joins me now. Reverend, thank you so much for being here. They did not let you talk about the book, but I will. What's in this book?
This book is for children 10 years of age and up. This book is not soft porn. It's...
Look what it says. The front cover is called It's Perfectly Normal. It's basically saying it's perfectly normal for you to experiment and become a lie. And it says right here, changing bodies, growing up, sex, and sexual health. It has a nerve to say sexual health. But I'm going to continue this video.
Hardcore porn. It details explicitly with pornographic images, homosexual sex, lesbian sex, straight sex. It promotes and glorifies masturbation while speaking against religion to may call that behavior a sin. This book is used as a tool to create what I call mental rape in the hearts and the minds of children. We are robbing kids of their innocence in America as we allow diversity, inclusion, and equity to dominate our schools. And so many of our librarians are bringing this kind of material into the public school system because they believe that children need to see themselves on the shelf. I don't believe that this is perfectly normal. I believe that this is perfectly perverted and it needs to stop.
Great point. You got to the point that I wanted to focus on, and it's the why. I want to extrapolate on that. Why? Why are we forcing a book like this on 10-year-olds?
Why are we forcing a book like this on 10-year-olds? 10-year-olds should be learning how to do a lot of different things that are, how can I say it, that are not enforcing them to learn about such things that a 10-year-old should not be learning about. 10-year-olds should be reading books, outside playing, learning how to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. If not, learning how to tie their shoelaces, learning how to box, learning how to do push-ups, learning how to be young ladies, learning how to be young men, not learning about sex at 10 years old. At 10 years old, I didn't know nothing about sex. But we living in a generation at this day forward where that's very important for a child to know about adult activity. Let's get back to this video.
Well, there's this issue of acceptance today. When it comes to inclusion, we have to make sure that everyone's welcome, everyone's invited. We have to make sure everyone feels good. And so along with that comes bringing in pornographic material to show kids about homosexual sex, lesbian sex, gay sex, transgenderism, and all of these things that come along with the alphabet mafia. And so I'm against these things because parents should talk about these things at home. If a parent wants to talk about masturbation and be explicit with their children and show them pornographic images, I don't advise it. I don't think it's something that they should do, but that should be something that takes place at home. But when we rob kids of their innocence, we're leading them down a slippery slope. This book is welcome in the public school system. But if a teacher were to begin to talk from this
Facts.
book, the Bible, everyone would be up in arms.
That's crazy, yo. It says in the book of Jeremiah, I think it's chapter 8. Let me see. Jeremiah. It says in the book of Jeremiah that good is going to be the new evil, and evil is going to be the new good. Where Jeremiah, in the book of Jeremiah, how good is going to be the new evil. Good is going to be considered evil, and evil is going to be considered good. And that's amazing. Because what's going on right now is that the enemy is having the world to compromise and compensate for what's a lie than what's the truth. Amazing.
Listen, we are in a bad place in America. America is spiraling downward, and it's time to storm the cockpit. As we talk about gender theory and queer theory, and we turn these schools woke, our children are underperforming. Our students aren't reading on grade level. They're not doing math on grade level. Our achievement rates are down. It's time to get back to education and not indoctrination.
This isn't just happening in Asheville, North Carolina, where you spoke. Parents are fighting back against this at schools throughout the nation. We reached out to a number of them. Some wrote back. The Bonnie Eagle School District in Maine, they have this book. They had no comment. Asheville Board of Education, where you spoke, says parents have a right under federal law to inspect all instructional and supplementary materials as part of any applicable federally funded programs. And the Waldorf School in Long Island telling us, quote, the book in question is an optional supplementary resource for parents that has never been used in the classroom. Reverend, is it safe to say that parents cannot let their guard down for 1 second when it comes to what is being taught in their kids' schools?
No, but parents, you can't let your guard down for 1 second. There are sexually evil and corrupt and deviant, perverted people who believe that this is okay. And so this is how it works. They bring the pornography into the school system. They bring in these gender theory and queer theory books. And if parents don't know it's there, it remains there. And then when parents are told that it's there, then the parents have to go through 10-step processes to get the books removed. This is sinister. It's criminal. It's child abuse. And so I'm going to school boards around the country. If you want to support my efforts, you can go to Erased Book. That's ERACED book.com and support the work that I'm doing nationally. We need pastors. We need the church to rise up and to speak up against this evil that's been done to our children. And we need men in particular in the culture to be bold and to be courageous.
Facts.
Stop being neutered and use your voice to defend our families and our children.
This push to ruin the innocent years of being a child is not perfectly normal. Reverend John Emenchukwu, we appreciate your...
Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 20, it says, woe unto them that call evil good and call good evil, that put darkness for light and put light for darkness, that put sweet for bitter and put bitter for sweet. This is why we need real men in the community, real men outside of the church, and even if they are in the church, real men that's not being indoctrinated with false lies, but real men to stand up for truth, that will live and get persecuted and get stripped from all things to stand for the truth, to the point that they would even die for what's true, for the truth in the word, for the truth in the scriptures, for the truth in the Most High. That's just a fact, yo. Just a fact.
Last name is Amanchukwu. It means I know God. And I'm glad to say that I do. I'm here today to talk about this book here. My name is John Amanchukwu, as I stated earlier. It's called It's Perfectly Normal for Students 10 and Up. This book details all kinds of sexual images, pictures of elderly people nude, pictures of an individual who's in a wheelchair with his penis out. All of these sexual pornographic images are made available and placed at the fingertips of children. And I'm sure, Dr. Cruz, I don't know if you knew about this before you signed on, but hopefully this is something that you can address and deal with, because this is immoral and asinine to allow children to be able to see this. Also, this book even shows images of two women having sex, a man and a woman having sex, and two men having sex. That's not perfectly normal. Who decides what's normal? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Or do parents decide what should be placed at the fingertips and allowed to be taught to their children in the school system? I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's vagina becomes moist and slippery, and the clitoris becomes hard. After a bit, a person's penis becomes erect, stiff, and larger.
Pastor.
Sometimes a bit of clear
Pastor.
fluid that may contain
Pastor.
a sperm comes out of the tip of the penis and makes
Pastor.
it wet.
Can we, sir? I'm sorry.
Was it something I said? Was it something I said? If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? See, we have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs and celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion, but you don't want me to read it so you can hear it. Why? Does it bother you? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. You want to know why? Because politically speaking, you can't say that it's wrong. You probably are a Christian man. But many Christians today have become more Democrat than Christian. Some Republicans have become more Republican than Christian. I'm not trying to win an election. I don't get my talking points from the RNC or the DNC. I get my talking points from the Bible, from the Bible. And you don't want me to read the filth because it exposes the truth. How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should the children have to see it?
Pastor, your time is up. Thank you.
That makes two of us.